Hello survivors, and welcome to another video. In today's video we are on the Legionnaire. We're playing with the Fangs of Vipeness, and the skill we're going to be using is Corrosive Spear. It is the main skill for that weapon. As you can see in my hands over here, we do have the Poison Staff. Now we are going to be running Corrosive Spear, Bomb Barrage, Avalanche, Lightning Bolt, Chromatic Bolt, and Flurry. Those are the main skills we are looking for. Obviously, if we cannot get them, we'll just substitute some of them for other known skills, but we will get into that during the actual run. So what we got here for runes, we've got Multicast Mastery, Generalist, Executioner, Dash Mastery, as well as Vulnerable Target for that extra 25% crit chance. So we're going to go into the Caves of Del Zog, and just in case anyone's ever wondered, Broken, why do you always go into the Caves of Del Zog? Well, that is because it is the only map that has the most destructible objects over there, so you don't run into all of these things, because otherwise, you can see you can't run through it. So the caves allows you to destroy these objects, where the other maps you can't destroy any of the trees or anything like that in the map. And therefore, if you dodge into it, you do land up getting stuck, and it can be the difference between you getting hit by an enemy's attack and dying, or us surviving because we managed to dodge that attack. So Caves of Del Zog is my favorite map because it has the biggest open areas without any of this terrain blocking you. Although there are these big walls and things like that, all of these small little things that other maps have trees, or dungeon has a lot of walls and things like that. The Caves of Del Zog don't have that, so that's Del Zog. So that's why we use this map. Alright, so let's see what we can get over here. Again, if we don't get some of the skills, it is unfortunate. If we don't get Chromatic Bolt, then Generalist as a skill is kind of useless. We could have taken another skill that would have helped us with damage. If you don't need the crit, or you don't want to work the boulder as a crit, you can grab yourself Head Start instead of Vulnerable Exploit. Vulnerable Target. So you don't have to worry about that. Getting your things, something like Deathclaw, is actually very good here as well. You can use it instead of Chromatic Bolt in the beginning of the game, just because it helps give you that chaos, the negative effect thing, so that you are able to pick up all of those passives, the synergy passives, and it just helps you a lot there. It does help with the early damage as well. So we will be replacing it, or we will be using it. Either or, it depends how well we roll with our RNG over here. But we do use Bomb Barrage for weakness. Fantastic, here it is. We do grab a lot of multicast as well as cast frequency for the Corrosive Spear. Here's our Chromatic Bolt, so that's fantastic. Let's keep going. More cast frequency. We're going to grab a bit of movement speed as well over here. Just until we get Lightning Bolt, we're going to substitute it for more Dazed from Thunder Strike, and then we can grab a little bit of that and some more crits. There's our Lightning Bolt already. So we seem to be in a very, very good spot in terms of build wise. Now the only things we do need still is going to be either Flurry and, well, not either, we need Flurry and Avalanche, but if we can only get one of them, then hopefully we can get one of them. I think Flurry might be a lot better than Avalanche, just because you are able to have it on the target all the time, because it is more consistent, where Avalanche does have a longer downtime, and you can miss the targets with Avalanche, especially if they are moving. They are harder to hit because it does shoot the bombs in a specific place only, and not like Flurry is always where you are aiming regardless. So I think we can actually, I mean, I really want to grab some of these skills over here, but they're not really necessary. So over here, Avalanche, we're going to replace our Thunderstrike with it. And then we're going to focus on those nice passives. That's fantastic. And Impending Doom. All it means now is we need to get ourselves a Fateful Strike. That's going to make it so that we can crit more often because of the Impending Doom. So we are going to try and also look for a Flurry while getting ourselves a Fateful Strike to complement the Impending Doom we just picked up. So let's see what happens. As you can see, our damage is pretty decent. Avalanche is good here because we do have Bomb Barrage as well, and we have to aim that skill anyway. So come on game, please just give me, thank you, fantastic. So we managed to get all of our items just before the first end of the boss fight. We no longer need that. So now we can focus on a couple of things. We do have a lot of crits, so crit damage is very good. And there's a Fateful Strike for us. So we have everything we need, and we got our Flurry, which is fantastic. That's going to help us apply all that Doom to Dazed as well. So really good over there. Obviously, because we are running Chromatic Bolt, we are going to have a high chance to grab multiple Impending Dooms, which means that we'll be doing even more damage if we do. But the main focus now is going to be on multicast as well as cast frequency, because those two are going to just skyrocket our damage out there. So over here we don't need anything for these. Area of effect is very good for them, but we don't need damage for Flurry. We're not using any of these skills for damage except for Lightning Bolt and Corrosive Spear. So again, for all of those skills we will be looking for area, multicast, as well as just cast frequency. But over here we've got area for frontal. That's not frontal, unfortunately, but we've got Bomb Barrage here as well. So I'm actually going to lock all of these because they look like very... Ooh, that is beautiful there as well. No, we're not going to take that area. We'll take the multicast. Although I did lock it, I've changed my mind already. And more cast frequency for our Corrosive Spear. Now, I did waste a lock over there, but it's really not the end of the world. We don't have like Divine Legacy for the legendaries, so we aren't too worried about locking too much unless we land up getting multiple legendaries in one level up, which without that rune is a very low chance of happening. So I don't think we're going to get into a situation like that, but there might be a situation in the future where I could have used the lock and I don't have it anymore. But we'll see what happens. I doubt that will happen anyway. But, I'm not perfect, and, these things happen. So, as much as I wish I was perfect, I'm not. But otherwise, there we go. We just got to dodge all of these bombs. As you can see, it's still very difficult to dodge all of it, especially when you are cornering yourself. I'm doing it intentionally, though. It's just to help deal the most amount of damage to the bosses. And we get to kill them just like that. So fantastic, they're all dead. We get to pick up all of their Soulstones, which is cool. And now we need one of those. Cast frequency. We could actually pick up another Fateful Strike. It just means we're going to deal even more damage because of the Doom to Dazed. What happens is if you pick up 2 of these, what happens now is it means that I have a 20% chance to apply 2 stacks of Doom per hit instead of 1 stack of Doom. So the more times you stack up these negative effects, the more times they are going to apply that negative effect to the enemy. So now I've got a 3rd one. That means every time it procs, it will apply 3 stacks of Doom instead of just 1 stack of Doom. We didn't have a frailty just yet, so now we've got a frailty, fragility being stacked, we've got a weakness being stacked, we've got the Doom, we've got all the stuff from Chromatic Bolt as well, Generalist from Chromatic Bolt for the increased damage. It is 42% increased damage for free over there. We do have thrust as well, which is giving us more damage. Lasting, which is more damage, which these are all just things that chromatic bolt doesn't have. Lasting, bomb, so those are all giving us more damage, a little bit more damage per tag. So that is fantastic. We will look at that at the very end, just to see how much percentage we are getting from generalist over here, and then if you could replace it with something. But I don't think you can. I think the amount of damage you are getting from using it is substantially high enough to warrant grabbing it. So let's go. Cast frequencies coming out of our ears, which is fantastic. Getting these epic cast frequencies is going to make the build run so much smoother and deal so much more damage, because obviously dealing the attacks more often means that you're applying the negative effects more often, which means that you're dealing more damage, which means you're killing things faster. Okay, just get out of their attacks. If we can kill this Fallen Knight and the Chaos Bringer as soon as possible, that would be fantastic, because they are both very irritating as bosses and I don't like them. So Chaos Bringer should be dead now. There we go. That was not the Chaos Bringer, but he should die to doom. There we go. Alright. Now, if we have to talk about, speed and how fast the build actually finishes a run, that just depends on your upgrades themselves. It also depends on a lot of other things, like how lucky you are with placements and boss spawns and things like that. Some of the bosses are a lot easier to kill than some of the others, because they stand still more often, or because they don't use a stupid huge AoE that you have to run away from them to get away from, or they don't use a stupid Kamehameha laser beam that one-shots you if you're in the middle of it, and things like that. Both of those come from a single boss, which always seems to spawn for me, but there you go, that boss is now dead, so hopefully that puts us in a better space. But as you can see, our speed at clearing the bosses isn't where I want it to be. Unfortunately, we just haven't had the best of luck with the boss spawns. We do seem to have some really good luck now with them. We got 2 fire incarnations and 2 eternal guardians, which is actually really good for us, because they tend to just either stand still or shoot lasers, which are pretty easy to dodge. So we are in a really good spot with these bosses compared to Prophetess or anything else actually. But let's see what happens with that. Oh, we've actually got a 1 ice incarnation, not 2 fire, so unfortunately that's a bit of a damper, because as you can see we are being slowed, and that's going to cause us to take unnecessary damage because we can't move out of the way. So we do need to just work on that movement speed. As you can see, with some movement speed you are able to just walk. You don't even need to dodge, so movement speed is very important. Ow. And we do need to actually get that. So more cast frequency, grab some health. It gave us a whole 3 life there. We might have to lose a life over here, which isn't the end of the world. That's fine. That's why we have 2 revives, and we will go from there. But otherwise, not my most fantastic run, I do have to say. We are struggling over here just a little bit. I have used this exact build, and we did get an 8-minute run with it, so that's why I wanted to show everyone the build. But it would seem that that is very RNG dependent, and sometimes you can get a really good run and sometimes it's just going to be completely terrible. So I think it just depends on your build itself, or on things like your upgrades do make a huge difference as well. So all of these things do make a big difference. I think maybe Divine Legacy would be very good for this build, because you are lacking some of those stats on some of your skills. So grabbing Divine Legacy might be very helpful for this build, instead of maybe, I don't even know what we could get off of it. Maybe See, because it's not really a damaging rune, so it doesn't help in terms of damage, where anything we replace, it's gonna get rid of, you know, a damage rune. There's nothing else we can really do about much of that. But there's some multicast for nature, that's fantastic. Another nice thing about having Chromatic Bolt is that you get all of those tag specifics, like nature will always be there, or ice, or anything like that. They're all going to be part of, you know, the tags that you can get. So very good to grab it and, you know, just use it for that, even that. So very good for the synergy skills that you pick up, like Impending Doom and things like that. And then very good for the tag specific upgrades like nature, ice and things like that as well. So as long as you're using one of those kinds of skills, the only one it doesn't work for is bleed. But any other skill that you are grabbing, it's definitely going to be helping you there. Alright, this is the last set of bosses. Again, not my proudest time, but definitely a lot simpler than some of the other you know, builds that we have for Legionnaire. But obviously if you did just pick up bunnies or something like that, you would have been finished within 5 minutes. But bunnies are completely overpowered, and we're trying to just show that you can beat Corrosive with new runes and just, you know, a new way of playing certain builds and things like that. So this dude going to die very soon. Unfortunately his poison can kill me as well, so it's a bit of a problem over there. Let's see what our last few upgrades are. Nothing too major, but time for you to die now. Thank you so much for playing the game, Alexi, but your time is up. Alright, and then we died to the arcane, to the Void Hunter at the very end there, so that's just fantastic. Thank goodness we had an extra life, because that would have just been a death screen for us over there. We still, you know, an okay time. Fastest time that we've done it with this build was 8:26, so definitely boils down to a lot of what you get and the upgrades you get. So unfortunately only 9 upgrades for Corrosive Spear. If we got a lot more, it would have been a lot stronger and we would have finished a lot faster. But with regards to tags, we do have, it's 13 on Chromatic Bolt. We then got Bomb, Burst, and Frontal, so that's another 3. And then we've also got Area, Seasonal, and Thrust Lasting. So pretty decent amount of damage coming there from tags. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.